It's major maintenance time on my Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to use that chart at the back of your handbook, your motorcycle handbook, the periodical maintenance chart. We're going to go through the 26 listed inspections today, and we're specifically highlighting the big ones, the 20,000 kilometer required tasks that I need to carry out on my Super Meteor 650. Now, what happens if you bought your motorcycle second-hand or you've mislaid your handbook? Don't worry, because in this video I'm going to show you where you can actually download a copy for free. We're also going to discuss those hashtags and asterisks and discuss what they mean and what they cover. And today I'm using the BS6 emissions handbook dated the 16th of August 2024, and we're going straight to page 102, and we can see 0.5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, all those numbers have an R in the column, and the R stands for replace. Seeing we're looking at the letters, let's go through what they mean. A stands for adjust, C stands for clean, L stands for lubricate, R replace, I inspect, but in brackets it says clean, adjust, lubricate or replace if necessary. I think that's where some of the mistakes are made with the valve adjustment, because when you look at valve adjustment it says inspect. Well, of course you're going to adjust it as well, right? Not just inspect it. Anybody can take the cover off, look at it and say, okay, I've inspected it. It needs adjustment. I think that is a problem. So the first task is always oil and filter and O-ring change. So yes, task number one with a hashtag is change the oil at 500 kilometers, at 10,000 kilometers, at 20,000 kilometers. So my first job now, change the oil. After first service, engine oil or oil filter replacement is required every 12 months, regardless of kilometers. Can anybody explain that to me? I don't see the logic in that, not really. And of course, it's pointless changing the oil unless you change the oil filter. So I do use the genuine ELF oil, 10W50. I think it's worth buying from Royal Enfield. I think if your bike's under 3 years old and you use a different brand of oil, maybe you void your warranty anyway. So I think it's a safe bet to use the genuine oil until your bike is over 3 years old. And the filter, the oil filter itself is, I need my glasses, part number 575139/F. And then of course I've got the sealing ring for the drain plug on the oil. It's best to change that every time. It's only pence. It's not a big value item, that one. Okay, and this is where it changes. Look at this. Number 3 on the new manual. On my original manual I got with the book, it had an I on 500 kilometers. There is no I on 500 kilometers anymore for the inlet and exhaust valve clearance. However, there is on 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. So it's completely changed, right? It has completely changed. I think it is important to carry that at 500 kilometers. I take it they've taken that off of the dealers because it's just so time consuming, and I think the dealers have to do the first service for free. So I think that's why it's come off, sadly. And this is where I'm a little bit concerned, because I've left it to the dealers up until 20,000 kilometers. Now I've done it myself, like I did in last week's video. My engine's totally quieter, and I've had a feeling I've had tight valves since day one on that bike. Task 1, engine oil. Task 2, engine oil filter. Task 3, inlet and exhaust valve clearance, check. And the 2 asterisks, after first service, valve clearance adjustment is required every 12 months, regardless of kilometers. Wow, who knew? I didn't until I've studied this. Spark plug. All the way up to 20,000 kilometers, it's the letter I, inspect only, but at 20,000 kilometers, R, replace. I've done that now, and I've upgraded to Iridium spark plugs. If you're putting the original Bosch plugs back in, then that is going to be 0.8 millimeter gap. With the Iridium plugs, I'm told that they're preset and you shouldn't really try to get an adjustment tool in there because the electrode in the middle is very delicate. Don't go anywhere near it. Step 5, HT leads check. I take it you're just going to check the visual leads themselves. They are old traditional leads, so they are screwed in with the cap, the plug cap. You can unscrew them. I take it you can cut the lead back a little bit and screw it in to have some new copper wire inside. How many of you upgraded to better HT leads? I'd like to know. Can you please comment? Number 6, rubber hose and air filter to throttle body inspection. Number 7, rubber hose inlet manifold adapter inspection. Number 8, evaporative emission equipment rubber hoses inspection. I take it that's those rubber pipes coming down from the tank. One goes to your carbon filter and one is just an overflow for any water that goes down into the cap. Number 9, your air filter element. Your air filter, right? So they're all checks until 10,000 kilometers, replace, and now at 20,000 kilometers we're going to replace. And this is where I have to say a big thank you to Hitchcock motorcycles, who've decided to sponsor the video today and sent me a DNA air filter for free. I've been putting off this upgrade because I do live in a dusty country and I'm a bit concerned about having dust going through an air filter. If I can, I'm going to try and find a dyno testing unit in town. I'm going to test it with the standard air filter, my dirty air filter, and then with the DNA air filter, and eventually with new pipes, I think, one day in the future also. Page 104, step 10, the vent pipe under the air filter box, inspection. Okay. Step 11, throttle cable, A, adjust. On all of them, adjustments. I've never adjusted the throttle cable on my bike. Everything feels smooth and nice. Interesting. Step 12, check your clutch cable and your lever 3 play. It says adjust every 10,000 kilometers. Again, I've never had to adjust my clutch cable. It's easy to do on the handlebar, and there's also an adjustment on the engine case there as well. Step 14, brake pads, front and rear. That is a visual inspection, and I take it a replacement if they're worn down on every step on this chart. Step 15, front and rear brake fluid replacement at 20,000 kilometers. That's a biggie. That's going to be a separate video for the future. Step 16, rear brake pedal and gear change pedal pivot. We're going to lubricate. Okay. Page 105, step 17, brake hose and banjo bolt front and rear. Inspect. Step 19, rear wheel drive chain. I don't have to worry about that because I've got the belt drive from RSTech fitted to this bike, but obviously it says every 500 kilometers on a standard chain drive on this bike, it should be lubricated, checked and adjusted. That's quite a big service on that bike. One of the benefits of having a belt drive, no oiling, no adjustments, just carry on riding. Step 20, rear wheel Cush rubbers. They are part number RAT 00007/D. I am changing mine. It does say inspection only. I am going to change mine today. I don't know if you can see those. They are your rear wheel Cush rubbers. Because I'm running on a belt drive, if these are slightly worn, that will affect the belt drive. And because I'm going to be taking the back wheel off any day to put new tyres on this bike as well, I might as well just change the Cush rubbers for the cost of them. That will ensure my belt drive is running straight without any wear on the Cush rubbers. Step 21, battery terminals, apply petroleum jelly. I take it that's to prevent corrosion on the battery terminals there. Step 22, earth wire eyelet tightness. Again, I think we need to check that for corrosion and make sure that that earth wire is tight on the frame of the bike. Step 23, tyre wear pattern front and rear. I've done over 20,000 kilometers on my Royal Enfield now. I don't have any wear on my tyres. That's telling me the compound's far too hard, and maybe that's one of the reasons I've getting a hard ride on this bike. So I'm going to bin the tyres. They're coming off. 20,000 kilometers. I've had my money's worth. I want something with a bit softer compound, a bit stickier compound for handling wet corners. Step 24, side stand and center stand pivots, lubricate. Step 25, rider and pillion foot pegs, lubricate. Last step, the last step of all, last 26, all mounting fasteners in the vehicle for tightness. So every nut and bolt on this bike, you're just going to go around with a socket and just make sure everything's tightened up to the correct specs. So I think that's a reasonable amount of checks, 26 checks to carry out. The major work is going to be that valve clearance check. I've made a video already, so there's a link in the video below. The next major one is going to be the brake fluid change at 20,000 kilometers. And again, I'll try and make a video about that in the future. And the next biggie for me is removing my back wheel to get a new tire on. And because I'm running on a belt drive, I just think it's better. I just take the wheel to a dealer, get them to fit the tire. I put the wheel back on and do the adjustments myself, because if you're not familiar with belt drives, to get the alignment and tension correct is very important. So I'd rather do that myself. And the reason the bike sat at 20,000 kilometers is because I mothballed it basically for the last 3 or 4 months since I've had the Interceptor 650. Now this one needs the major servicing done, because this one's now hit 20,000 kilometers from the 15,000 when I bought it. So again, valve checks any day on the Interceptor 650. So I've had to do it. I've been putting it off thinking it's a complicated job. And after I made the video, actually, it's not too bad. And I'm definitely going to tackle the Interceptor 650 with much more confidence. 26 jobs to do sounds like a massive list, but when you actually work your way through them and tick them off, they are quickly done in no time. Please let me know in the comments below, do you carry out the 20,000 kilometer service yourself, or do you take it to the shop? And also, are there things that are not on the list that you would recommend that you do check? Please let others know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, as always. Until next time, ride safe.